Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining me for another haul. Got some awesome books to share for you. Had probably one of my best hauls ever, and can't wait to show you those books. But let's start off here with some pickups at a local shop. One I go to pretty often. I got All Star Squadron 37. Picked this up for $3. Pretty nice, higher grade book. And 37, I believe the other one is 38. They both have Superman and Shazam on the cover. They can go for a nice price in a high grade, so I was really happy to find that for $3. Also picked up Amazing Spider-Man 592, the Wolverine Art Appreciation Month variant, $5. This one fluctuates on eBay fairly back and forth between, you know, $10 to $20. I've seen them sell for even higher than that, but it's definitely a good book to pick up. They're becoming a little bit more scarce, I found. So, really cool cover as well. Just a great one for the collection. Batman number 7. Now, I got 7 and 8. He had these must have been newer books that came into the shop. They're graded like very good. I'd say this is the shop that I go to. The grade's pretty strict. I'd say they're a little bit better than that. Maybe like a fine. The issues are some spine stressing, but anything below 10, I'm gonna pick up for that price and this quality for sure. I paid 250 for number 7. First, what's her name? Becomes Bluebird, and number 8 just another. I don't think I have that one, so definitely picking those up. Here's a couple that got a little heat on them the past month or so with the announcement of the Booster Gold and Blue Beetle movie. Infinite Crisis number 3, the first appearance of um, Reyes. Was it Juan or Jose Reyes? I forget what his name is. Who is also featured in 4 and later takes up the Blue Beetle moniker in 5 and is on the cover. Now, these 3 and 4 here are the George Perez covers, and then 5 is the Jim Lee cover. And George Perez and Jim Lee both did a cover for the whole series, and there's also second prints sketch variants of depending they picked one of the covers. Most of them I think are Jim Lee, but George Perez has one or two of them as well. So definitely be on the lookout for those. Inhuman number 1, picked that up for $4. I remember when this came out, and I think I passed on it. And this is about I've seen these go for as much as 20 in high grades. Probably about a $12 to $15 book. I think it's a little hot because it's the first appearance of a character who's going to be on the Agents of Shield show, but also, just Inhumans are possibly the way of the future for Marvel. So, good one to pick up if you can find it at a low price. Justice Society of America number 1, first appearance of character who's going to be on, I believe, on the Flash show. Is it Jessica Quick? Something like that. Picked that up for $2. Why not for that price? Also picked up a copy of Titans number 1 for $2. First, Damien Dark, who is going to probably play a fairly major role on Arrow in this next season coming out soon. I also found these in the dollar bin. Rebels number 2. Just picked that up because I have number 1. I don't know, has anybody read it? Brian Wood, I like him. Um, so I haven't read it, just got it since I have number 1 also. And Ultimate Spider-Man number 33. This thing is in really nice shape. This is the first appearance of Ultimate Venom. I've shown this before, but for a black cover, this thing doesn't have any spine stressing. Really tough to find. Also found some magazines. I hadn't checked his magazines in a while, and something was drawing me to them. So I was lucky enough to find a Captain Britain number 1. Now I didn't realize I paid $3 for this. I think he had it as like a very good. It does not have the mask in it, which hurts it a little bit. Kind of like the tattoos for Marvel books. But this is a pretty old, book, and I didn't realize these things are like newspaper quality. They don't have the glossy paper pages like a regular comic book. And I also picked up a copy of number 4 for $3 as well. Did not have a number 8, man, that would have been a score. But really happy to get those two because I don't know if I've ever seen any Captain Britons around before. It's just hard to find decent magazines in general anyway. Also picked up this, was real happy to find this, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu number 32. I believe this is the first appearance of Daughters of the Dragon, who could potentially be in the Luke Cage um, TV show. Misty Knight is already going to be on the show, and she's half of the Daughters of the Dragon. Now, these Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, this is not a real high grade book, but for $2, it's a steal. Just because, again, these are pretty tough to find, and it's got some pretty nice interior art. Now, in general, these Deadly Hands of Kung Fu have gotten a little high in price for, if you can find high grade ones, even if it's not a key book, they're going for 40 to 60 bucks in high grade. And, I know it's just because these things are tough to find in high grade, so was really happy to get that for $2. Another one that I got for $2, Love and Rockets number 2, and this is the first print. And again, I think he had this at like a Very Good or something maybe. It's got pretty sharp corners. It's just got some cover rub here. But these things, again, it's another series you don't really see, especially. Oh, you know what? Look at this thing. It's got a huge, huge crease right here. But still, very tough series to find in general. So I was really happy to get all those for. I basically stole all those. All right, I got this online, and another one I think I basically stole. Thor 165. I paid $70 for it. This is a book that I just don't see anymore for under $100, and it's pretty nice shape. It's just got a little bit of like chipping maybe at the bottom here, and it's got a little crease up here. I don't know. I put this at like probably a fine. I think it's worth at least 125, 150 in this condition. The way the books are selling on eBay right now. So really, really happy to get that one. Who knows what's going to happen with it in the future? Plus, this cover is really vibrant, which again is for older book is a little bit tougher to find. Super happy to get that for that price. All right, now this is the haul I was talking about. Might be one of my best ever. You guys know how I like to dig dollar bins. So I found out this store was having a sale because they posted on their Facebook, and I highly suggest setting up finding the shops that are near you, adding them on Facebook, and uh, setting up so that you receive notifications when they post. Because that's the only way I find out about some of these sales. This shop is about 45 minutes away. I go there maybe once a year. But I saw a post where they were having a sale for all bin books $1. I thought, well, that's a pretty dang good deal. I don't know, it can't be all back books, but I figured why not? I'll go up and take a look. So I get up there, and sure enough, it's all their back issue books for $1. Now they don't have a lot of. They have some Silver Age stuff, but they keep behind the counter, and I think that might have been 20% off. And this was about 3 weeks in. So by the time I got there, the good Silver Age keys were picked over. I think they were like 20% off. But they brought in like some extra stock from their back room or whatever, and that's why it was one of the best hauls I've had. I'll show you. This was like one of their back issues that they normally have. Special Marvel Edition number 16, second appearance of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, and this was $1. Probably when I got home and looked at it, I didn't even bother fixing this. And it's got like some water. When I got home and took it out, the whole thing is basically water damaged, but I mean, it's a book I've been looking for a while. I don't have a 15 or 16, so definitely books to keep an eye out for. I've seen some for about 50 that the grade wasn't quite where I felt it should be for that price. Oh, I think this is also the first appearance of this guy, maybe Midnight, who is I think it's one of his bigger enemies. Not positive on that one, but definitely a good book to pick up. I don't know, for a dollar. I don't know. It's probably can't hurt. Can't hurt for a dollar. But anyway, let's get into the other books I got. So this was basically, like I said, stuff that he must have had in the back room and did not typically have out because most of the stuff was on the floor under their regular bins. And so starting off, I got a 68 number 4. This is the first series of 68 from Image. These are kind of tough books to find. I showed a couple videos back, a couple of, I picked up 1 and 2, and now I have number 4. But these can go for 10, 15, 20 bucks, depending on the day. Amazing Spider-Man 671. This is definitely a book you should be looking for if you can find it cheap. It's, it's a Mary Jane cover, and it's a Ramos. I think she kind of looks like a man in the face, but this one, for whatever reason, goes for 10, 12, 15 bucks on a good day. So I found that one, figure why not. Avenging Spider-Man number 9. Yeah, take that for a dollar. This is when I started to see, like, what's going on with this? Like, why didn't this guy have these books out, normally? Because they could have sold these a long time ago. Batgirl 14, great art germ cover. Uh, Batman Night of Vengeance number 1 and number 3. That's a good one to have. Merce not turned me on to that one. Did not have a number 2. Battle Scars. I got 1, 4, Deadpool cover, 5, and of course he had a number 6. Definitely take that for a dollar. Black Adam number 1 from his miniseries. I thought this book was worth a little bit more. Maybe it was when Black Adam got real hot, but it doesn't go for more than, I don't know, 5, 6 bucks. So, Captain Marvel number 16, first Phyla-Vell. Definitely pick that up for a dollar. How about this one? A Clone number 1, first print. 2 years ago, could have had that out, made probably 30, 40 bucks on that. That book dropped like a rock, though, since the talks of the TV show are pretty much dead, but it's a good book. If you haven't read it, I would suggest reading it. It's really pretty interesting. Detective Comics 877 and 78, the Jock Scott Snyder books. Pick those up for a dollar for sure. Elephant Man, giant size Elephant Man. I'd never seen this. I thought it might have just been the regular issue number 1, but this is the giant size number 1 with the J. Scott Campbell cover. Fathom number 1. This is cover 1B of volume 2, and I don't remember who the artist is on this. This is still, though, when it was published by Aspen, not Image, so it's, I don't know, there's a little bit of a following for something like that, I guess. Alright, here's a real nice one that I was really happy to find. Gotham City Sirens number 1 and number 20. Now, most of these books were not boarded, but they were in bags. So some of what happened with some of these, I don't know if this one had it too bad. This one looks pretty good. But, you get a long box of books that aren't boarded, and they start to crease in the middle here as they lean back on each other. There's no way for them to stand up. So that was a little bit of a bummer. But, still, like I said, let's go through the rest of them. Hero Comics 2011. This is the J. Scott Campbell cover, and also had the Adam Hughes cover. Pretty good books for a dollar. Inhumans number 1, the second series. That book was real hot for a little while. New X-Men 134, first Quentin Cryer book to look out for. Nova number 36, the last issue, and the lead into Thanos Imperative. Tough book to find. Omega Man number 3, Okay, all day long. He had a Power Girl 25, a 26, and of course I found a 27. Now, right, I've shown some pretty good books, but what I'll tell you is I'm not going to show you every single book I picked up, but what I'll tell you is the reason why it made it one of the better hauls I've ever had was that it was like a true backroom pick of books that they basically just took off the shelf and threw in a box and left them back there for whatever reason. And there was multiples. So, not only did I find one of that, but I found two, four of them, nice stack of them. And I'm looking at the guy when I find these, and he's just up there reading his magazine, just kind of thinking to myself, I guess this is one of those like combined gaming and, magic shops and um, comics, and just kind of thinking, I guess you don't really care about making money staying up on the comics, but good for me. Spectre 54. Just this thing was just sitting there all by itself. There wasn't even other. I don't think I even ran across any other Spectre books. Just this one for $1. I mean, just crazy. This is one of those books I knew I could find. I figured I could find because if you hunt long enough, you can find books that people aren't aware of yet. But like I said, this guy just didn't know what was going on. And, like this Sunfire Big Hero. Now, this was one that did catch like some of that bending because it wasn't boarded. And, you know, what were these going for a year ago? Year and a half ago. Could probably get 50 bucks for these things in high grade. And just had, I mean, I just got a stack of them. Just kind of ridiculous that, whatever. I feel like I should set up a business to go in and consult some of these shop owners as to what they could be doing. Charge me for my time to go through their books. Superman, Batman 77, tough book to find. The white cover, just a cool cover as well. I had a whole bunch of these. Ultimate Fallout #4, still bagged. All right. X-Women. Now that book has fallen off a little bit, but still a great one to pick up. X-Women, One Shot, the Milo Manara cover. Vengeance, #1. Remember this one got hot for a little bit. First Miss America, America Chavez. Venom, 13 and 13.1. These Circle of 4 books, I believe, I can't remember if they're connecting covers or what, but the Circle of 4 storyline is, these books can get, about 15 bucks each on a good day. X-Force #1 with the Deadpool card, of course, and Zatanna #10 and #11, the Adam Hughes cover. So, like I said, all those for $1 each. Found some great stuff. I love digging those dollar bins, especially when you find stuff like that. So that's why I always say, keep trolling those dollar bins. Thanks for watching. Hope you got some info. See you next time.